Hello everyone and welcome back to another book review. Today I am going to be reviewing volume 14 in the Haikyu series. So this is a series that I've been reading for a while. If you're not familiar with this series, I recommend going back and reading volumes 1 through 13 or watching my videos on volumes 1 through 13 because I'm going to assume that you have a passing familiarity with volumes 1 through 13 going into this review. I'm going to move this candle because it is flickering on my face. So volume 14 takes a turn that I've kind of been expecting for a while. It takes a plot twist that I've kind of seen coming, and I believe this plot twist kind of started in volume 13. This is what I mean when I say that this series really flows one volume to another. So if you get like volume 13, it ends in such a way that volume 14 naturally picks up the very spot that volume 13 ends. So I really recommend getting multiple volumes together so you can kind of read through the series without having any awkward breaks. In volume 14, or at the end of volume 13, beginning of volume 14, there is an injury on the team while they are playing in this tournament. Daiichi Sawamura is injured. And this is a plot line that I've seen coming. I feel like it's a natural plot line for a sports manga or any sort of sports story. What happens when someone gets injured? It's kind of a big deal. So I've seen it coming and I just didn't know who it was going to be. I thought maybe at the beginning it might be either Kageyama or Hinata because they were working together as a team, and then the team would have to figure out what to do without those two players, without that team that they're building their offense around. However, they've kind of grown as a team, and that's no longer, I don't want to say necessary. If one of them got hurt, if any of them got hurt, it would be a big deal. But I think the choice to make Sawamura the one who got hurt was kind of the correct one, or a good one, because he's such a stabilizing force on the team. So I wouldn't describe him as like a standout talent, but he's the captain and he's very, very solid. He has a great foundation for this team, and as a result, losing him, they've lost this stability and this foundation. Now he is a third year, so this kind of opens up a natural point to introduce what characters might be eligible for captainship next year, and also kind of develop or lead to some character growth from some other characters on the team. So Chikara Inoshita is the one who's put in when Sawamura has to go off to get checked out. And this is a great opportunity for him to showcase his skills, showcase how far he's come as a player, and also demonstrate his ability to lead a team. So it's kind of a character growth opportunity as well as a unique opportunity for the team, because now they are playing without this stabilizing foundation and force, and it's going to be almost a sneak peek of what it's going to be like when their third years are gone. So this volume is really focusing, in my opinion, on character growth. So the first one is Enoshita, him coming out and trying to be that stabilizing force for the team, but there is a second person who I noted in this volume has really great character growth, and that is Yamaguchi. And he is, I've always had in my head that he is kind of a pukey character, as in he always looks like he's about to throw up because he's very, very nervous. He has very good serving skills, but he's very timid, so he's very scared to break them out, and he tends to pull back or not really try for his full potential because he doesn't want to fail. He'd rather serve a safe serve that gets over the net than to try one of his serves that is more advantageous for the team but has a probability of failing. And throughout this game, we also see him come out and him start to break out of that shell and be a little bit more assertive and just grow a little bit as a character. So volume 14 I would describe as a big character growth, especially of some characters that I would describe as minor characters. They're on the team, but they haven't really stepped up into their full potential, and in this volume we're starting to see them step into that full potential. So I'm excited to see where Enoshita, how the growth in his character develops, and also Yamaguchi, because I think that he could be a really good character and he has a lot of skill at volleyball. He just needs to become a little bit more assertive. Let me see if I can find a picture real quick of what I mean when he's pukey. I don't know how else to describe him. He just always seems like he's on the edge of throwing up because he's so nervous. So I can't find one right off the top of my head. So as mentioned in previous volumes, we are playing through a single elimination tournament in this arc of the series. So if they get eliminated, they are not going to advance any further. And this creates a lot of stress on the team because each game is so important, and there is no room for errors in these teams, and as a result, the stress just continues to mount. And I should also add that each time they beat a team, they move up to like the next part of the bracket, and all the other teams they're facing in the next part of the bracket are teams that have also been unbeaten up to that point. So they're facing ever increasing difficulty in their teams, and the stress just gets more and more. So when the tournament starts, you feel kind of confident they're going to beat the first couple teams. But now that we're getting further and further, it starts to get more and more difficult, and the stress just ticks up another notch. So as they go through this volume, my stress level just went up one more notch, and it's really starting to set in, and things are getting serious, and the teams are getting very, very difficult. So they are going to have to pull together, they're going to have to work as a team, and they're going to have to figure out ways to get around unavoidable problems such as their captain being injured if they want to advance. At the end of this series, there's also a little bonus beach volleyball episode here. So if you have been saddened by the lack of beach volleyball for whatever reason, there is plenty here, and it's just humorous, and it just breaks up the stress. I think the increasing level of stress really builds over multiple volumes in these tournaments, because you know that if they mess up, then they're going to lose their opportunity. So I think the author just took this opportunity to create a light little scene that is totally stress-free to enjoy before moving on to volume 15, in which we will be inevitably stressed even further. So my review of volume 14 is a 5-star. I'm really enjoying this series. It's building on itself, the characters are growing, and I feel like we've made a lot of good, I don't know if to say progress, but it's just been a very, very good entry in the series, and I'm assuming volume 15 is going to be equally good as well, and I'm excited to read this. If you've read this book or are reading this series, I would love to hear what you think about it. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.